3 up, 2 across, tap that play button 3 times, and walk through the archway into Dialogue Alley. Hello and welcome to Dialogue Alley, a podcast all about Harry Potter books, book translations, and all other things magical. I'm Melanie.
I'm Carly.
And I'm Erik.
And the 3 of us are Harry Potter book translation collectors. We collect books in all sorts of languages from all over the world, all sorts of really cool, crazy Harry Potter books with all these different covers and different art and different languages and dialects and translations and just everything. Any kind of Harry Potter book, I bet you we got it, for the most part, right?
Even this one.
But what about this one?
I don't have that one, that's why I'm holding this one.
Oh no! Yay!
I know.
That's like a little sneak peek into our little translation of the show. We're all showing each other like pictures of the book that's going to be the translation of the show. And if you're new to us and our podcast, we do this cool segment called the translation of the show, where every episode we talk about a different translation of the Harry Potter books. And we do like a deep dive into that language and a cool look into the book and sometimes even a cool sniff into the book as well. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. Because
I was about to say that's an all the time.
That's literally the first thing we do.
The new thing is the X Factor. We've decided to give all these books an X Factor beyond our reading. So that's kind of a wild card. It could be anything about this book that we like.
Yeah. So stay tuned for the main stay tuned for the translation of the show, because it's always really cool to see what we pick and what we come up with for that. Before our translation of the show, we're going to go over some news. We have an awesome main segment. I'm so excited about it that I sang it. That's how I feel about it.
Nice.
Should I say what the main segment is? I feel like I should.
I think you should, because
I think you should.
Carly and I weren't part of the main segment, so you should definitely, because they'll be like, where did they go? Where did Erik and Carly go? Oh, they went to go get some coffee, even though Erik doesn't like coffee.
Just Erik and Carly like snuck down into the kitchens, grabbed themselves some butterbeer from some house elves, because the main segment of this episode features me having a really cool chat with my friend Peter and our friend Peter. And if you don't know who Peter is, he's the Potter collector, because our main segment today is all about Hogwarts Legacy. Had to be done. And honestly, I like it that it's done this way, because you guys can really just, I haven't listened to it yet, so you guys can just go into it, and Carly and I haven't played the game yet. So
we'll probably be buying PlayStation 5s and the game before it's all over.
No, Carly, I looked it up. The Xbox Series S is our cheapest way to get it, and I have to justify spending. I can't buy it. I will play it. I will play it after Zelda comes out, and if I will read the reviews on the Switch version. If the Switch version's bad, even though that's in the summer, then I will get something else to play it on. Because from what I've heard and what I will hear you guys talk about, and the reviews that I've read, and the footage I've watched, it's a game that I most definitely want to play.
You gotta play it.
And I will play this game at some point. So, as long as I keep telling myself that, and I keep that promise to myself, I don't feel bad that I'm not playing it right now. So I'm glad that you guys are able to talk about it, because you both are playing it right now. Yeah. I'm playing it right now so heavily that I played up until I need to get upstairs to start setting up to podcast time. And the second we're done recording, I'm going to run myself downstairs into our little media room, and I am going to be playing this game until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. Oh my gosh. So we should move on to the news.
We should.
All right. Well, hey, I'm doing the news again this week, everybody. Not usually a thing, but I'm doing it. We have a lot of news. Obviously, Hogwarts Legacy is out. That's our main segment. So we don't need to talk a whole lot about it here. But if you guys out there listening are playing it, please let us know. Let us know what you think. We have I know there's a Discord just for Hogwarts Legacy, but in our own Dialogue Alley Discord, which you can join if you support us on Patreon, we do have our own Hogwarts Legacy channel in there that people are talking about the game on as well. So you can talk to people about it there. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit with Melanie and Peter. The other news is that the MinaLima Prisoner of Azkaban book that's coming out this fall officially got a cover. We mentioned it last week, and then like the next day after we recorded, they released the cover.
I know.
And Melanie is 100% correct in her prediction. It is a teal cover. It looks amazing.
I'm so excited.
Shout out to one of our like Instagram acquaintance friends, the Grizzly Wizard. Do you guys follow him on Instagram?
I think so.
I don't know.
He's from the UK or Ireland. I can't remember. I think he's from the UK. No, he is from the UK. He went over like a detailed diagram of the cover and like put arrows and labels on all the teeny weeny details on the front. Like there's scabbers, there's the firebolt, and like super cool. And like that's one of those things where like the other MinaLima editions of the first two books, there are so many details in these books just crammed in there that you don't really notice until you really dive deep into them. Like when I'm reading the first one with my daughter right now, I'm seeing so many things like, oh my gosh, they like put those dots in the corner and they actually form an outline of something, and that's done on purpose. It's not just like, I'm going to put some dots here. Like everything's done with a purpose. So
everything has a reason, and I love that about the books.
Yeah, which really, like, I know we said these books aren't really meant to be read by us, but really, unless you read them and go page by page, like you're gonna miss stuff. So, like, really excited to be going through these with my daughter because I am going to be able to like see things that I've been missing.
It's awesome.
So, awesome. So you can pre-order this book in a couple places. Obviously, if you're American, you can just go to most places that sell books, right, and pre-order this. However, why is that funny, Carly?
Just because of the way you worded it.
Oh, well, I mean, like, if you're listening to the show, you like books, you probably have a spot that you pre-order books. But what I will mention is that if you would like a book with a signed book plate from MinaLima, you can do that, and you can buy that from their website. The only downside, if there is one, which it really isn't, is that you have to pay for shipping from the United Kingdom to the United States or wherever you're at in the world. And we all know that shipping right now is pretty expensive. So you pay the cost of a new book in pounds, and then you pay for the shipping to wherever you're at. So it does
raise the book quite a bit. Like
it does. It almost doubles the cost.
It's so cool, and it's so cool to think about the idea of having a full set of their books and all of them signed. Like, that is just cool. That's really cool.
It's really cool. And I think we mentioned in the episodes we did about the other two books that they've done so far is that there's no easier way to get a book signed than to just buy it. Like, click the mouse and you buy it, and it's the same price that everyone else is paying. So I think we did the math, Carly, the first time we talked about this, and it was about like $70, $80.
Yeah, I remember it was about US $70, $80, somewhere in between.
Yeah, so it's gonna run you the cost of double this book, and we've all seen these at like Costco and Walmart and Target for like.
But they're not signed, and they're not signed, published by Bloomsbury.
There's no easier way to get a signed book than to just go to the MinaLima website and buy it.
Yep.
Oh, Sean just said that shipping is £18 and the book is £40. So that's
perfect.
Like £60, maybe like how much?
70, 75-ish, 80, depending on the exchange rate.
Yeah, so we were about right. Something
we're
like that.
about right, 70 to 80-ish. Sticking with that.
Something like
Thanks,
that.
Sean.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Some other news. You guys, they announced the 25th anniversary box set.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I'm going to get it. And here's why. This is
because of the spines?
The spines got me. The spines got me. And the thing was, when I saw the covers, I was like, no, not happy. It was, honestly, in my opinion, and I was saying in the episode that we recorded about this whole thing, like the worst thing they could have done was just slap a sticker on it, right? That was all I was saying. So just like slap.
And they did a little bit more than that.
No, in my opinion, I feel like what they did was worse. Like, I feel like...
Really?
Because they're paperbacks. Like, that's stupid.
Well,
I'm annoyed. I'm not really thrilled about this whole paperback situation. I'm cool with the fact that it's a box set. That's fine. But you literally took the same cover art. I don't understand You literally put a gold border on it. Is it even going to be metallic? I don't know. Like, but... I like the spines, and that's something that like sold me with the Kazukibuishi set. It sold me with the Taiwanese set, like all of those things. We love when they do a set with the spines that make an image. Of course. That's something that like I feel like we talk about that all the time. That's an X factor in itself. But the fact that they didn't do anything else, and this is the 25th anniversary. They could have done something awesome. Even if they did the exact same set, but changed the cover art for book 1 and had like a paperback version of the 10th anniversary art. And that was that would have been great. Book 1. Would be awesome. Would have loved that. Like there are so many other avenues that they could have done that would have been very easy. And I would have liked it so much more. The problem is I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to support it. Because of the fact that I'm going to buy it, I'm just going to be angry about me buying it. And I don't want them to just assume that they're right and that people like it because of the fact that I'm buying it. I'm buying it because I need to, not that I want to.
I still think this set, I don't think it has enough appeal to people that haven't read these before to go buy this because it's just not, it's not what we were hoping for. So I have a very strong feeling that like my Kazukibuishi set that I got, this is going to hit like the Target sale bin for like $40 at some point or less.
Probably.
Which I got my Kazukibuishi set for $40. Like that was super. And
that's how much really I paid for mine. I think was 35 or 40 shipped.
Yeah. So
I don't know that
I'm going to pay. I would buy it, but
I'm not going to pay full.
I'm not going to be there day one. No, I'm not going to be there day one. I'm not pre-ordering this. Because I know that they're not going to sell out, and I don't really care what prints they are of the books.
I know, but I care. I care about the print.
I don't care because I'm just going to stick it on my shelf and look at the spines.
I know, but it just in my head, if the option to get first prints is there, then I'm going to want to get first prints.
But I think the first print run is going to be so large that I would not be surprised if the first prints wind up in the sale bin either. Because I saw first prints from the 20th anniversary in the sale bins at least a few months later.
I know, but if it's a plastic wrapped set, that's concerning to me. Like if it's a plastic wrapped set and I can't check the books, like the thought that
and even the worst case is like
not.
They if I wait, they're selling the books individually too, or is it just a box set?
I imagine it's just a box set.
Yeah,
because of the art and the spine art.
I would think it's one print run for all the sets.
Yeah, well, I only ask because I was shocked that they sold the books individually for the Selznick set too, but they certainly did.
But that leans to an individual, like individual books, yes, ish. Like the obviously the cover art image makes one image if you have the whole set, but the spines don't. Like, can you get the Kazukibuishi art individually, or can you only get that as a set?
You can get it individually.
Yeah, okay, so then maybe you can get these individually, but like, why would you want to? What's the point? What's the point?
I just see them doing both. And I say that, I'm like,
annoyed.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed, I guess, is the best word for me.
I know, that's the thing, and there's like nothing we can do about it except use our podcast to voice our upsetness.
We'll tag them in all of the stuff where we talk about it so they'll know our feelings. No, because I still
would like for them to like me.
Thankfully, all of us are so aware of all the other amazing Harry Potter books that exist in the world.
That's true.
That there are some countries that just knock it out of the park with these books, so like we can buy.
And it's continually knocking it out of the park for some of the countries, I don't know that I would call that a knockout, but we'll get to that later.
I'm so excited.
You guys, quick side note tangent. At the Scholastic Book Fair at my school today, I always check the Harry Potter books. They only were selling Brian Selznick book 1 and book 7.
Weird.
That's weird.
And someone was like, and our teacher was like, "Oh, I've never seen these covers before." And I was like, "Oh," she was holding up a Deathly Hallows, and I'm like, "Oh,
Let me
yeah,
tell you about
Tell you all about
I'm like,
it.
those are the Brian Selznick covers, and if you put them all together in a line, they make a picture." And she's like, "Oh, that's really cool." And I was like, "Yeah, see, oh, they aren't here. It's just so like I can't show you because when they first came out and the book fair was at my school, all the books were there, and I went over to the table and just like arranged it so all the books were like touching, and it made a big picture, and it made me so happy. And I was like, see, there they are, everyone. This is what they intended. It was one image. They chopped it up into 7 books.
Right.
Amazing.
And then lastly, our news is my news. Is that, I got the last 2 Arabic variants that I needed. I got the very first one, and then the most recent one. That one came from Egypt, I think they both came from Egypt, actually, which is
very
surprising.
cool.
I had the newest one with the Wizarding World logo. It was like in my eBay cart, and I just like haven't hit purchase yet. But
if you get the one from Amazon, from the bookstore that I can tell you the name of, then you get all the freebies. I got a postcard from this mosque.
Send
it was like,
me that.
visit this mosque, and then I got a hieroglyphs bookmark, and I got a letter in Arabic that I couldn't read, but
please
someone
send me
in our
that
Discord did read.
because if I can buy it on Amazon, then it's future Melanie's problem because I can use my Amazon credit card. So that's exciting news.
Yeah.
I have the original one coming as well.
Nice.
So then I'll feel better about myself, even though I'm not going to feel better about myself because
I felt like such a relief when that package came yesterday. It took like a month to get here from Egypt, so I was like, oh, I hope it's still gonna show up, and it did. So I'm like, okay, I have the 100 out of 100. Like, don't have to worry about that anymore. Not like I wasn't gonna get them, like I knew it was coming, but I'm like, oh, they're here. Check it off the list. So, and speaking of checking off the list, that's a horrible segue. But speaking of magical things like books, we could talk about something else magical, like a video game where you actually do magic.
Yeah. And also by we, I think you mean me and Peter. Because me and Peter are going to be talking about this
Carly
stuff.
and I are going to step out for a butterbeer ice cream.
Butterbeer break.
And we will rejoin you after the main segment for the translation of the show.
All right, guys. See you at the tots. All right, so for our main segment today, it's just me. Erik isn't here, Carly's not here, but it's not exactly just me because I am joined by my good friend Peter. You can
Hey guys.
Say hi.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
I know I stopped, but it's okay.
You're good.
This is going to be like a really cool, silly, fun, candid chit chat about Hogwarts Legacy.
I'm so excited.
Because
they haven't played it yet. Erik and Carly haven't played it.
Right. And
are they going to play it?
So, yes. So, okay. I think Carly's talking about getting a PS5, or she's been talking about getting a PlayStation, like getting the PS5, getting a PC. I'm not 100% sure. She wants to play it. Erik is definitely going to play it, but he's waiting for Switch.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which I'm hearing that a lot of people are doing that, and I might get it for Switch too, just because I'm curious at how different like the graphics and everything are, but I feel like it's not going to be comparable to PS5 or PC.
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. And can you play on your handheld? Like, could you take it with you?
Yeah, man. I mean,
because that's pretty cool. If you can do that.
I know. I feel like that playability of it makes it really cool to be able to play it on the Switch, but other than that, I can't imagine that it's going to be as smooth of a gameplay. I can't imagine the graphics being as nice. I imagine it being very glitchy. And so far, playing it on PS5, like, we haven't had a single issue. It is like watching a movie. The quality is...
Oh, it's amazing.
Is insane. And the audio, also, I feel like that in itself... We have a surround sound system with the TV that we have set up with our PS5, and it's like you're playing a movie. It's been unreal.
Yeah, no, it really is. I was saying on, I started live streaming my gameplay, and I said on the live stream that it's like watching another Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
Or a Wizarding World film. It's like the story sections are just phenomenal.
I love it. And my husband's the one that's playing it. I'm doing it with him. So I told Alon from the beginning, like, I will sit with you. You can play the game. I have zero problem with that because I know it's going to be like watching a movie and I'm down. However, I want to design the character and we're going to be a Hufflepuff.
We're going to be Hufflepuff.
I had to.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what happened. And I think like the first time he cast a spell and he felt it in the controller, he like handed the controller to me. I was like, oh my God, you have to try this.
Feel.
And
yeah.
It's amazing. Just like those little details so far have been unbelievable.
Yeah, you can hear your heartbeat in the controller. You can feel the wind blowing in your controller. It's really spectacular. And I'm not a gamer at all. I've not played video games. So this is my first time playing a video game, and it very well might make me a gamer because it's like, this is a whole new world. You know what I mean?
It's unbelievable. And I'm enjoying the story so much. I'm enjoying the open world. I love the fact that you can attend to the story or you can just wander off and do your own thing and just take everything in at your own pace. I'm enjoying so much that I can watch the story elements of it. So far, I'm finding the story so good. I'm very captivated by it. I want to know what's going to happen. I have so many questions already and to so many mysteries of it. So yeah, so what I'm liking so much so far is just the combination of like being able to wander and discover things. I don't know if you're finding this too. One of my favorite things is that they've really taken Hogwarts from all of the movies. And I've found things, or we've discovered things along our way so far that I'm like, ooh, this is the Transfiguration classroom as it is in the first and second movie right off of the courtyard. And this is where the room of requirement will be from the later movies and that sort of thing, which there's so much.
Yeah, they've not just taken the movies, though. They've taken the books. They've put Hogwarts from the books and the movies and created it into this one open world game, and it's incredible.
It's the ultimate fan service, I feel like, because
it is.
Any Harry Potter fan can enjoy this game.
So the Hogwarts Legacy Hogwarts expert, her name is Boston, and I was actually able to meet her in Hollywood. I went to a preview event of Hogwarts Legacy, and talking to her about just her love for the castle, and she told me she loves the movies, but she is first and foremost a book purist. So the person who essentially created Hogwarts is someone taking things from the movies that we know and that we've seen, but she is throwing in everything that we know about from the books into this Hogwarts castle that's in Hogwarts Legacy. So we're seeing things that we've not seen in the movies in Hogwarts Legacy that we've just read about and visualized. And it's just, if you've not played this, if you're on the fence playing this, if you're like, I'm not a gamer, I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm learning quick. It's super easy. By watching Alon, you can probably see within like the story aspect. It's like they're having you learn how to cast spells, and you're learning how to run at this point within the story. So it really it eases you into the game, and before I knew it, it's like I'm really improving. So if you're not an expert gamer, if you're not a gamer whatsoever, I would honestly encourage you to give it a try. It's amazing. And if you're a Harry Potter fan, it's honestly a must.
Yeah, I feel like the way that they styled everything, you just experience everything very organically. It's, okay, you're learning how to cast spells, and then once you learn your second spell, it's, oh, well, here's how you would save your spells on your controller so you can cast multiple spells. And this is your guide that's going to be your sidekick thing to find everything. And then there's the map, and then, oh, you're walking through, and, oh, but wait, there's the Flu Network, and you can use Flu Fire to get from place to place. And it is very organically done. That I found to be so easy for anyone that's looking for any type of gaming experience. Whether you're someone that games all the time, whether you're just like a Nintendo kid, which is like what I am. I'm like a Super Mario, Nintendo kid, Legend of Zelda girl. But like this game kind of just plays to anybody. Any type of Harry Potter fan and any type of gamer will really, really enjoy this game. Alon says a lot of like mumbo jumbo about like frame rates and things like that, which are very important. But for me, I'm just like, wow, this looks so good and it runs so great and it sounds amazing. And
yeah, I was gonna say it sounds great. Yeah, just and as you were saying, the story is so fascinating. It's great,
and you're captivated instantly.
Oh, instantly. Absolutely instantly.
Okay, can we just talk about something? Can we actually talk content? I cannot stop thinking about the Thestrals.
The opening. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I can't stop. I cannot stop thinking about it. Like the way that they weren't there and then they were there.
Yep. Brilliant.
I was laying back on the couch like watching him play the game, and then the dragon came out and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then when the thing with the Thestral happened, I was on the edge of my seat saying, this is it. This game is the game.
Yeah.
This is the Harry Potter thing that we have been needing and craving and wanting for so long in that instant moment.
Right there with you. It was brilliant. So
I have goosebumps.
Brilliant.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Should we tell them? Well, close your ears for 10 seconds. So someone gets eaten by the dragon in this opening sequence, and the main character sees this person get eaten by the dragon. This person dies, and then he turns around and sees Thestrals appear that are flying the carriage through the sky. Just brilliant. He couldn't see them before. He saw death, and now the Thestrals are there. Like just incredible use of Thestrals and that.
And I feel like it was so nostalgic just seeing the carriage being pulled by nothing in it, and I was like, those are being pulled by Thestrals. We know that.
Exactly.
And we all know that. And then to see them appear like that was just so brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Genius.
I agree.
Absolutely genius.
I agree.
I've been thinking about it all day since last night when we started playing the game.
Yeah, I've seen this opening sequence 3 times. So I saw it once in Hollywood, where I said to the game creators, that was brilliant, that was genius. Then I started the game a week ago because I was doing some content for Warner Brothers and saw it then. But then for my live streams, I restarted a whole new game and saw it again and watched it with everyone watching on the stream. And every single time it just gives me goosebumps, or it gave me goosebumps. It's brilliant. Like you can't say that enough. It's brilliant, genius, incredible.
Okay, so how far have you gotten in the story? Because we're not really that far. We're like 2 hours into gameplay.
Okay, so I went about 3.5 hours.
Okay.
So I got through Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Okay, us too.
As well as Hogsmeade.
Okay, we didn't go to Hogsmeade yet. We're waiting to put the baby to bed so we can go to Hogsmeade.
Okay.
I'm so excited. We've been thinking about this all day, like texting each other. I can't wait till we get home. I can't wait to play this game. We got to do this. I can't wait. We got to go get our wand. Like, I'm so excited.
All right, well, I won't speak at all about Hogsmeade then.
Okay.
I won't speak at all on Hogsmeade. There's so much I want to say, but I can't say anything.
No, don't spoil it. Okay, so what we can talk about, I guess, so far is, I think, obviously you picked Slytherin, right? Or did you not?
Yeah, so I connected I connected my Harry Potter fan account, my Warner Brothers account.
Cool.
To did you not?
We didn't. I don't know.
Oh, you can.
I don't know. Should I do it like after the fact?
Honestly, it's well, you can get some, like, I think you get some special robes and a special mask.
I did see that.
And then, like, if your account's linked, like your rewards or your achievements or whatever, then are then connected to your account. It's not necessary. And plus, so you're automatically sorted into the house that you are already sorted into.
So I guess it's like a more fluid kind of.
Yeah, but you can select a different house if you want to.
Oh. Okay.
And then when it comes to the wand, this isn't really a spoiler. It links your wand, but then you can completely customize it and make it however you want. Even though it's your Harry Potter fan account wand, it's like you can make it whatever you want it to be.
I don't really like my Harry Potter fan wand.
Yeah,
anyway,
I changed mine.
That's fine.
So actually, with these live streams that I'm doing, I'm letting everyone who's watching interact and choose and help me choose the path and everything. So I did a poll. And everyone chose Slytherin, even though I'm Slytherin. So I think that's awesome.
I think people did that because they know you're a
Probably.
Slytherin. Tell me about the common room. How is it?
Oh, the common room is, oh my goodness. It is right up my Diagon alley, let me tell you that. It's like stone and just like water. And I mean, you're under the Black Lake. And you go into the common room, this common room section, the section of the common room, and there are these massive glass windows that look out to the Black Lake, and you can see fish swimming by. And my goal is to see the black squid, the giant squid.
Do you see
I don't know if you can.
Or mer people?
I haven't seen a Grindylow. I haven't seen mer people, but I have heard people, just other students, talk about how, I've never seen a mer person. So I don't know if that means if the Hogwarts Legacy creators are saying like you won't see a mer person, or if it's like, look, because you may be the first person to see a mer person. You know what I mean? So, but it's absolutely beautiful, like beautiful. And then the dorm room, if you look up, you see this giant stained glass window dome. Ooh. And you just know that you're under the Black Lake. Like you're looking up at the Black Lake. It's just, it's beautiful.
That's so cool. I feel like it's, the common rooms are very book. Like it's very, very book, which it has to be because we don't get Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff common rooms in the movies. Yeah. So it has to be very book based.
So tell me about the Hufflepuff common room.
I'm like taking a second because I don't know how to perfectly describe it because it's so perfect. I mean, I feel like I relate to Hufflepuff so much and everything about it, the earthiness and like the brightness of just Hufflepuff vibes. I feel like just me as a person, it's so me. And I feel like the way that they did the common room couldn't have been done better. It's almost like Hobbit vibes where it's literally a burrow, which you're like a badger in a burrow. It's all round doors that are very ornate, so much greenery and plants, stained glass, and everything is like golden yellow, wood tones. It's just beautiful. There are just the round doors everywhere you go. The whole thing is just very round. I'm sure you've seen pictures and things of it because a lot of the previews, I feel like, featured the Hufflepuff common room a lot just because I feel like that was something everyone was very eager to see because we haven't seen it. But I don't think they could have done it better.
Ravenclaw.
I haven't seen it
in the books. No, what I say is like in the books we briefly see it.
Right.
In Deathly Hallows, but we've never seen Hufflepuff common room.
Yeah, you only know that it's off the kitchens or by the kitchens. Like that's all you know about it. I feel like. Have
you been to the kitchen? Have you seen the portrait?
Oh my God, no, not yet.
Have you looked for it?
No, not yet. Oh my God.
I haven't seen it either. You got to look for it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. That's gonna be the first thing that we look for. Oh my gosh, we gotta tickle the pear.
I did stumble upon the fat lady.
Okay, so we found the room of requirement. Well, the room of requirement. Okay. We found like the tapestry of Barnabas teaching the trolls how to dance, whatever. We found that. We found Peeves a bunch of times, just like causing mischief all over the place, which is wonderful.
Which is so wonderful.
I'm obsessed.
That brings Hogwarts to life.
Oh, every single time I see him, I'm like, it's Peeves. Like
Yeah.
I just love it. What are other things have we stumbled upon so far that's like nostalgic? I want to find, just climbing up to the astronomy tower.
Yeah, it like literally looks. It's the astronomy tower, and then going. Did you go down the stairs to like that lower area where Harry was hiding?
Oh my gosh!
I know, it gave chills. It's like, wow, this is where Dumbledore dies. Like 1,000 years later, or 100 years later. Excuse me.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable. And then right after that, we were kind of like exploring around a little bit. We're like, okay, we have to go back to Professor Weasley, which that in itself, like just saying that is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But once we did that, we looked at the map. We were like, oh, let's take the Floo Fire as a shortcut to get back. We had only explored like this teeny amount of the castle so far. And that's just mind-blowing. And then you think about that, but then you look at the map as a whole, and it is so massive.
And you've not even unlocked Hogsmeade yet. Like, that's part of the map. Like, you press that map button, and it gives you the option, Hogwarts Castle, Hogsmeade. And it's like, holy cow, this is huge. And then the paths that connect it. But then there's more outside of that we haven't even gotten to yet.
That's the thing. I probably would have been happy if it was just Hogwarts and Hogsmeade.
I know.
But the fact that it's all of this other stuff too, it's just mind-blowing to me. I can't even fathom all of the stuff that we're going to discover in this game.
Did you watch the gameplay showcases?
I don't think
that Avalanche put out.
I don't think so. Maybe.
So there was one that I think it was it was the second one where they feature flying on a hippogriff.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, amazing, right? So when they were flying around like these cliffs and by the water and everything, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to find myself a little private secret place that I'm just going to go to if I want to. You know, it's like, here's a cave somewhere. Because that's what they have in this game. There's caves and cliffs and little towns here, little towns there, or rivers and streams where you can just land and just sit by the water. So I'm excited to get to that point where I can just take my broomstick or my hippogriff and fly off to my secret place and chill for a little bit.
That's the thing that's so unbelievable about this game, and that's so hard to wrap your head around, is the fact that anything that you can see, you can go to. And I catch Alon and I both saying it as we're playing. He said, oh, I wonder if we can go up here, or, oh, I wonder if this exists. Yes, it does. That's always the answer. And I said that to him. I was like, the answer is always going to be yes. Do you think that the astronomy tower is going to be up there? Yes, it is. Exactly as we see it. And the way that you see the views of everything is just so beautiful. I love how true it really held to everything that we know and love about the series. It's just unbelievable. What's been...
When you go on your Hogsmeade journey, make sure you turn around as you're walking on the path and just turn around. Look at Hogwarts.
I'll probably cry.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, here, this isn't really a spoiler. I just want to pull up a picture and show you a screenshot I took. It's like of my character just looking at Hogwarts.
Did you name your character your name?
My first character I did, and the second character I had people watching name the character, and his name is Tom Asher. Huh. So, yeah, Tom Asher is the character that I'll be playing with on stream.
So fun.
But here is this picture. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm getting chills just looking at this. It's freaking amazing.
Oh my gosh. You know what I love too is that, like, we get to see a whole different silhouette of the castle.
Yeah.
Like, you see the things, obviously, that you know, and, like, the very iconic certain shapes of the castle. But there are new things that are there, too, or, I guess, old things that are just brand new and unbelievable. But, yeah, I can't wait to like what you were saying before, I can't wait to just get lost in nooks and crannies. And I guarantee you that majority of the time in this game, you can find a place that no one else has even discovered yet.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, how did you get to blah, blah, blah place? Like, that's going to be an unbelievable thing, too, because this map really is just so massive.
My goal and hope, and they haven't announced whether it's there or not, probably because no one really knows if it's there or not in the books and movies, but the Chamber of Secrets. My goal is to get to the Chamber of Secrets, and if I have to become evil to get there, I will become evil to get there, because, I don't know, I just want to find the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, I feel like, and this goes into a whole conversation about the story, but I feel like there's so much mystery revolving around the main character because of the fact that you just start as a 5th year, and I almost feel as though like the character like has amnesia and can't remember like what happened before that, and that's because we're kind of discovering that. We're discovering who this character is and why they're starting Hogwarts in their 5th year and that whole thing. Obviously, the whole opening sequence to the entire game is just a huge mystery in itself. But I feel like there's just so much open opportunity for the character to just come out and be a parcel tongue and you just didn't know it. And that's because of all of these choose your own paths and things that you get to do. Honestly, I feel like you probably would have to be a Slytherin in order to do that. I don't, like, are there parcel tongues that aren't Slytherin?
I don't know, actually. That I don't know. But speaking of, like, Slytherins and parcel tongues, in the Slytherin common room, and I'm assuming this is true for Hufflepuff, where you kind of had to go meet 3 people. One of those people was a Gaunt. There's a Gaunt, and he talks about how he's a descendant of Salazar Slytherin, and he doesn't like it because, there's like a stigma with his name and how Salazar is all about purebloods, and he's not like that. I was like, that's so fascinating. That's so cool.
Oh my gosh, you have to be best friends
with a Gaunt. I spoke with a Gaunt. Isn't that crazy?
And every time there's like a name drop or anything, I just get like little goosebumps about it.
Yeah.
Which to me, I talk all the time about when the second Fantastic Beasts movie came out and they threw McGonagall in there, and I was just like, this is not how you do fan service.
Yeah.
Like, doing fan service is not altering canon and throwing a character in just because you think that more people are going to watch the movie because Professor McGonagall's in it. Like, but this game is fan service by throwing in the little names like Fig or Weasley or Phineas Nigellus Black, like all of those things. I'm just so captivated, cannot stop thinking about this game. It's all I'm going to be doing for such a long time.
But what's crazy is, like, you could start a new game as a different house and have a totally different experience,
which we're gonna have to do. I feel like if we just wanted to like see the common rooms, it's easy enough. Like, you only really have to play like an hour into the game to get to the point where you're sorted in your common room. So you could make separate save files with, okay, this one's gonna be a Gryffindor, this one's gonna be a Slytherin, this one's gonna be a Ravenclaw, and then kind of just see what's gonna happen. I mean, obviously we're gonna want to play the game and turn out to be like a bad guy, but right now we're me as a happy little Hufflepuff, experiencing sunshine and rainbows with some goblins thrown in there.
Yeah, I don't know what path I'm taking, because again, as I was saying, I'm allowing people to help me choose. So it's, I'm still making choices as well as I play, but I'm doing polls and stuff and letting people choose. So I may end up on a bad path. I don't know.
So how often are you doing your live streams?
As often as I can. Unfortunately, I'm like in this really intense play right now. So we have rehearsals every day this week. We have one day off and then another full week of rehearsals nonstop. So I can only play like certain hours during the day or late at night. which is what I did last night and was up till 4 a.m. playing Hogwarts Legacy. So I don't. It's all up in the air, but I need to do as many as I can, because it's like I need to play. I need to get back into it.
Yeah. Are you gonna be at a point where like you'll play on your own, or you're liking doing the live stream thing?
I think the live stream thing is fun. Yeah. So I think
it's like
for
you're playing
now,
with your buddies.
It is. It's kind of like I'm experiencing it with other Harry Potter fans. And it was really fun just talking to people and seeing. So I'm probably to a point where I am now experiencing new things with everyone else. So
okay.
I at up to this point I had seen most of what I was streaming yesterday, but now we're to the point where it's all going to be new. So it was fun to see, people's reactions in the comments and talking about how,
That's
oh my goodness,
awesome.
this is amazing. Oh, cool how they did that, or whatever it was. But yeah, it's like you're experiencing it with other Harry Potter fans. I wish there was a multiplayer so that we could, like, you and I could play together,
But oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. Like, could you imagine if there was like I don't know, just a way that we could like run into each other?
Yeah.
At Hogwarts would be awesome. That would be so cool. Like, think about if there was a way that like, I don't know, first 100 people that downloaded this game got to have their character be a character in the game, and they could
awesome.
like interact.
That would have been awesome.
I don't know.
Maybe someday
so cool.
they'll add some sort of add-on or something.
Yeah, I mean the technology's out there to be able to like do something like that, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it so much so far. I cannot foresee anytime soon where I'm going to be bored of this game.
Yeah, I don't see anytime soon either, because it's like it's all going to be new, and it's literally all new, because we know nothing about, unless you're like watching other people who are further along. It's all new. The story is new, and it's going to be it's already interesting, so it's going to continue to be interesting.
Yeah, and I guess just as like a final thought on it, I think the thing that's so interesting too is like the time period that they chose for this is not a time period that we have a lot of experience. I feel like the only reference to like Goblin Rebellion is in Professor Bin's class, which is only in the books.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that is what adds to the aspect of the whole thing, is it's all new content for us too, because of the fact that it's a new time period. So
speaking of Professor Binns, I'm
so
excited to get to a Professor Binns class, because he's a teacher there. It's he's still a ghost, but it's awesome. There's so much.
But we know, it's like I know him. I know him.
There's so much.
I can't wait. I know. I have to. Once I get off with you, we're going to go eat dinner super quick. Then the baby's going to go right down to bed, and then we're going to go play for a few hours. I'm so excited.
I love it.
I'm not going to play as late as we did. Last night, I took a nap between like 9 and 11 o'clock so we could be up at midnight to play. Yeah. And then we played for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, something like that. And then I was like a zombie at work today.
Yeah.
I drank a lot of caffeine. But so worth it.
And you're going to do it again.
Yeah. All over again.
Yeah.
Take 2. I know. I'm ready for it. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me
thanks for letting me chat with
game.
you. This is it's so fun. I can't say it enough, guys. If you are on the fence, even if whether you're a gamer, whether you're not a gamer, I highly suggest this game. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you are going to flip head over heels, trip over hippogriffs, whatever. You're going to love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. Recommend.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the game we've been waiting for. It's it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. Thanks so much, Peter. We'll definitely have you on again, and we'll chat soon.
All right. I'm I don't know. I would love to say I'm excited about the tots, but this book it's very polarizing for me for several reasons, and we'll get into that right now. So today's translation of the show is the Occitan Chamber of Secrets.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay! I think. The translator is Patrick, and I'm going to butcher the last name, Guillemjon. It's published by Pernost Edition. So Occitan is actually really, really neat language, and I say that about all of them, but it's true every time. Occitan is also known as Languedoc by native speakers and sometimes also referred to as Provençal. It's a Romantic language spoken in southern France, Monaco, Italy, in the Occitan Valley, as well as Spain's Val d'Aran. Collectively, these regions are sometimes referred to Occitania. And what's interesting is, like Languedoc, there's like several language families in France. And we have Languedoc and Languedoc. And it's how they say the we, like how they say yes, Languedoc, Languedoc. And so Occitan, they say we differently than the Languedoc people. So that's kind of how they separate those out, which is interesting. It's how they say yes. So I think that's nifty. I lived in the south of France, kind of around where Occitan is spoken, and it's a very different accented French when they're speaking French than Parisian French, at least for me. It's like italicized French. And I didn't really recognize it until I went back and visited Cannes, and I was like, oh, no wonder it's so weird. Like, it sounds like italicized French. It's very cool. Anyway, I could go on. Oh, it's actually, and it's somewhat related to Catalan. How neat is that? And I could keep going, but I'll quit and we can get into the tot scale if we want to.
I think it's cool because we talked about the Basque book with Brock on the show, about how it's more of just like, it's not a language that is like a country language. It's more of a region.
It's a region,
that transcends borders of countries. So that's so cool to me that a book like this exists in that language, because it really is an effort of the region to have a demand for that language, not like one particular country that's like, we want our language. It's a group of people in multiple countries.
And it is so cool. Like, you can go to the Book That Lives project, and you can listen to Catalan, Occitan, Basque, Spanish, French. You can hear them all and they're all kind of squished into the same area, and they're really neat sounding. And it was actually, I forget the name of the French. It's kind of like MuggleNet, but in France, and they're the ones who actually hooked me up with the guy that read for the project. And it was so cool to get to do, because I'd been looking for somebody who to read the Occitan for a while, and I couldn't get any takers. But I found it, so it's cool. You can go to there and hear it read. It's really nifty. On a scale, so we'll just get into the tots thing. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being most difficult, how hard is it to get this book today? I mean, you can still order it from the publisher.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like if you have the ability to do that, then
it's like a 2.
It's like, that makes it like a 2.
And
because then if you're ordering from the publisher, you have to worry about like shipping wherever you're ordering from and stuff like that. It makes it like a little complicated, you know.
And I will say, Pernost is not necessarily the most intuitive website to use. I believe the last time I ordered some from them, I actually had to email them and just say, hi, I would like to order 5 copies, please. And then we paid that way. And I think
I've done that for other websites. It's
I did that for Luxembourgish.
Sometimes it's almost easier to do it that way than to actually try to navigate like the cart and the checkout, because sometimes like the fields where you have to put your address in, or
it's
they don't match up with yours because we're not
in France.
American, so like our stuff doesn't match. So yeah, I've done that multiple times. You just email the publisher and they'll be like, hey, give me your information, and then they send you a link to a payment portal. And I mean, it works out fine, but it's it's a couple extra back and forths.
But I believe you can still get these from the publisher, and I believe a lot of that reasoning is I think these are pretty much print on demand.
Okay.
I don't know for certain, but they feel like print-on-demand books for me, so that's what it kind of feels like. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I've discerned over the years.
Nice. Well, and the website is, it's the publisher, so if you want to spell that, it's PERNOSTE.com.
Yeah, Pernost.
Go check
Pernoste editions, just, very easy. And they're very, very nice. Anytime I've had to work with them, they're very friendly. So I recommend, spending my money with them anyway.
My book, what's the price on the back of your book? I assume that's the price.
€16 is what I paid for book one. I don't remember.
€16.
Okay, yeah.
So that plus shipping? Yeah. New book plus shipping.
Yeah, I think I paid something like $35. It was cheap. I don't remember shipping being super expensive when I bought from them. So it was a good deal. I recommend them. They're nice.
Yeah, I'll buy one. I don't have book 2, so I'm holding my book 1.
You should. You should have book 2.
I don't have either one with me, so I'm holding a set of tarot cards again. So that'll be what I smell. Let's see. I guess we've already discussed value. It's the value of a new book, right? We discussed that just now. So about €16 is what you can, you can spend. What you can spend for the book if you buy from the publisher. I know I've seen them on eBay for more, and they're selling for that, but I don't know that that's what I'd place the value at. I think it's people who don't realize they can just go to the publisher to buy them.
That's that same episode we did with Sean McAllister about you're paying on eBay for the convenience of not having to do that extra step of a couple back and forth emails. So I see why people are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
There are days where I'm like, really? I can spend $5 extra and just get this done right now? Like, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very guilty.
I think we've all done that from time to time. Let's get into the rating of it, though, because I have some opinions, as do we all. First, let's smell it.
I mean, it doesn't smell like anything. Mine doesn't smell like anything. I can't get close enough to the spine because the spine is so tight.
Yeah.
To, get all up in there to get, a good whiff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's just going to get, I don't know. Can I do ungraded?
No, you got to give it a score.
I guess it's acceptable then. It doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah, acceptable is fine.
I think acceptable is a nothing.
It smells like...
Acceptable could be a nothing.
Yeah.
It's like I'm smelling air. There's nothing there. No smell.
If it was bad, it would get a bad score.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just...
It's just present and accounted for. Yeah, I think acceptable is fine for here.
Yeah.
That's it. Then we
size
have...
and proportions?
Yep. Now we have size and proportions.
Size and proportions, I'd give it an exceeds expectations. I like that it's a bit narrow, and also the cover art on the front of it kind of leans to an illusion of it being very narrow, and it's also quite thin. So I actually really like it. I think that kind of makes it a bit unique, which is nice and long.
I do agree with Melanie on the size and proportions, so I'll give it an E here. I think it's fine. I like how tall it is compared to the width. I think that's fine. I think and they're easy to identify on the shelf. So because of the size and proportions. So I'll think that.
Go ahead.
Oh, so I'll give it an exceeds expectations for that.
I was just going to say, I think that the books that are surrounding it on the shelves are significantly smaller.
Well, that's also true given where it sits. Yeah.
They based on how you categorize. If you do it alphabetically.
Mine's next to Persian. They're both
see,
the
but
same
I
height.
think I might alphabetize. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I
that's fine.
alphabetized Farsi, so that's why.
Maybe I'll change it up.
Ooh, spicy.
If I don't have this, but if it's the same as the book 1 that I'm holding, which I'm pretty sure they're the same height, I would give it an exceeds
there's a little bit of difference, or at least in mine.
Just a tiny bit, but it
was like a centimeter, but it was enough to bother me.
No, so I'd say exceeds based on book 1.
Okay.
Because it's probably fine.
That's good. How does the book feel in your hands?
I'm gonna give it an acceptable because I like the texture of the cover. Super, super glossy. Very nice. Nice and smooth. Doesn't smudge or anything like that. I don't like that the spine is so tight that it just like...
It doesn't open.
You can't even open it.
You can't open it without cracking your spine.
It has that little like dent
so
in the
it should
front
in theory
so it should open, but it's just...
But it doesn't. It's like a trickster thing, right? It should, in theory, work, and it just doesn't. So
it's the Occitan region tricking all of us. It's a big prank.
I'm going to also, I'll say like poor plus A- for how it feels in my hands, because I really am irked that I can't examine it further. Like, I can barely open it without it. I don't want to crease the spine, and I'm not going to buy a copy to study. So, I guess I could. I was just talking about how cool it was, but then I would be upset that I'm breaking that spine too. I don't know. I just don't like how tight it's bound, and I honestly don't care much for how it feels in my hand. I don't like how glossy it is.
I will say I don't have it, but the book one is weighty. It's got a good weight.
Yeah.
I would say that.
That would be my redeeming factor. I can't give book 2 a score, but I would say the weight of these books is pretty decent. So I don't know if that lends more to quality, but they feel nice.
I agree. I think that's a part of how it feels in your hand. It is weighty. It has a nice heft to it.
Some books that feel like they just blow away in a nice summer breeze. Not this one. It's actually pretty.
That is not one that would.
Paperback.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the wraps are pretty weighty too. Actually, I feel like, as is the paper.
Yeah. Well, I think that gets more to quality. So what would you say?
Which is where we're headed right now. What do we think of the quality?
Wow.
I mean, quality, I would give it and exceeds expectations. I feel like it's very, like, these corners are so stinking sharp. The paper is super, super bright. It's thick. I think it's almost like the quality is, like, too good, which is why, like, it's bound so tight. However, the only reason why I wouldn't, like, lean toward an outstanding is because I feel like if this book was a read book, or if you were to be reading this book, which I am not,
right?
I don't know how this book would hold up.
And I haven't seen a read one to know yet how the quality would stand up. So I can't say that. So I think actually going on the conservative side is good. So I'm going to also say exceeds expectations here.
Yeah.
I'll agree with both of you. I will say if these are read, they would get puffier. Like, for sure, they would get puffier, especially the spine.
The spine would definitely.
So...
And it would be like, when you're looking at the books when they've been read and they're really tightly bound, they kind of pillow up at the spine end and then they flex.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That would drive me crazy.
From this to this.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, cover art interpretation, and I'm just gonna say this is an absolute troll for me. I dislike it. I don't like to look at it. I don't like book one either. I'm not a proponent, so this is like troll minus. And for those who don't know, like, this is actually unique cover art. It's by Kailu, who's a French or Occitanian artist, maybe, or at least French. I don't know if they're Occitanian, but I can't do it. It is not my version of art.
I like the art on the second one more than the first one. However, I don't like that there's that big, like, green border around the edge. And it's not because I don't like the border. I just don't like the inconsistency with book one not having a border. So I don't feel that. Like the border doesn't wreck it for me. It's that book one doesn't have a border. And book one could have a border that could be like the same green. That'd be fine. I just wish they would have picked one. But I do like the doofy snake, and I like the torch. The torch is really fiery.
There was once a point when I thought that the artist was like, I thought someone from the publishing company had their kid do the cover, and I thought that was a cool idea, and it turns out that's not the case.
Well, book two, I can't. Does book two have like book one has kind of like a newspaper background? Like, you can actually see the text of like the paper that the artist used for like the collage for the background.
Yes, this has that.
Book two does also. Okay, so that's at least consistent. I like that. I feel like the background of book 2 is a little bit stronger than the background of book 1. It's more like a nice scene. I don't know. The more I look at these, the more I like them, just because they're so unlike anything else. And it's a unique cover art. So they are
definitely unique.
Even though I don't know if I'd hang this on my wall, I have to give it an outstanding.
Oh,
I'm literally sitting here with like the biggest grin on my face because you guys, like, obviously it's like a running joke on this podcast about how the feelings are about Occitan covers. And like, I love them. I love them.
I know.
I love how crazy it is. It's unlike anything else.
It's chaos. It's chaos, but it's like so fun and so young.
I am so glad they're not like anything else. Like, I couldn't do it a third time. I just can't.
Love them. Oh my gosh,
I remember
when
the first, because I was so excited about the language, and I remember when books 1 and 2 came in the mail, and I remember like I almost wanted to cry. I was so disappointed at the covers because I didn't know what they looked like beforehand, and I was so disappointed that I feel like I'll never forget that. Like, I could hear the sad trumpet or sad trombone going womp, womp, womp.
I had like the opposite effect because I saw these and was like, whoa, those are so different from anything else. They're so cool. I love the art. I am so upset that there's only 2 books of this. Like, that's how
I'm glad this is a short set. I love that it's a short set for the covers.
Like, look at this basilisk. I obviously he's like not scary. Like, you want to give him a hug, other than these like little fangs. But like, look at him. He's just like, "Hi, Harry. What you doing down here?"
So, okay, what this reminds me of, because I'm reading a lot of Erik Carl right now at school. You can tell that the medium of this cover is not just like painting a picture with like paint. Right? There's like, it's like a collage with paper.
Like etchy
and I feel like it would be a lot more textured. And if we could see the original, like, texture, I think we would appreciate it a lot more, because the longer you look at it, I think, sorry, Carly's like shaking her head vigorously, like, and no way. The more I look at it closely, the more I appreciate it, because I think there is a lot more to it than just like drawing what looks like a very childlike picture that I could have maybe done in 5 minutes time. But I think it's a little more complex than that, and it just doesn't really transfer because it's a, 2D printed cover, not like a 3D art. Like when you see it, I don't know, like when you guys, Melanie, you live in New York, like if you go to like see the Starry Night, right, at the
yeah, it's a different experience.
Oh, totally. Like, and like the Van Gogh that we have here in Minneapolis, like it is so awesome to stand there and just see like the gobs of paint on there. And it's way different than getting a print of any Van Gogh that, like, it's so 2D, because so much of the experience is, like, the way that he painted. I feel like that's going on here. However, we don't get that in the book, and I've never seen the original. So
I'm going to say that I don't think seeing it in person, the original in person, would change my feelings on it. But this isn't, to be very fair, this isn't any kind of art that I prefer. I love art.
No,
this
you don't
isn't
have
what
to.
I
It's
like.
very subjective. You're allowed to not like this.
But I am also not one who likes any kind of modern art, right? I don't like Picasso. I don't like any of those things. I haven't been to the Musée d'Orsay when I'm in Paris. I don't like modern art. It's not what I do. So to be fair, I was designed not to like this cover to begin with. It's not my thing. But
I love it.
The X factor for I love that the books are published in the language. Like, I love that the books exist.
I think that your X factor is that, like, this language, this translation exists.
Right. Like, I love that it's there. I'm sad that we don't, because I would love to have all 7 books for the linguistic purposes of it. Like, I would just have to shut my eyes at 3 through 7 and pretend that the art's better. But I love that the language exists. I love that the translation of the language exists, and I cannot stress that enough, how cool it is. Like, my little linguistic self is so excited to hear it, to know what it sounds like, that it's a thing, and that they're doing really good stuff for the preservation of the language, right? They're doing really neat stuff. Like, they've got a really interesting to navigate website, but they're doing really neat things with it. And I love that.
I mean, I would say my X Factor, I love that there are only 2 of them, even though I wish that there were more of them.
Yeah.
I think that it makes me just appreciate the 2 that we have so much more. I don't know. My X Factor about this book, honestly, I love the lime green border. I think that is my X Factor. I love it.
I don't dislike it. I just wish it was like consistent.
I know,
with the first
but
2.
like just looking at Chamber of
The
Secrets,
spine of 2 is also green, isn't it?
Yeah, they have the same lime spine, both books 1 and 2, but book 2 just has the border around the cover.
Hey guys, we got this cool lime green back and cool lime green spine. Let's just bring it onto the cover for book 2.
And we got a lime green snake on the front, so let's just keep the party going.
Keep
on the
keep
front
on.
of the old Occitan, book 2.
It's just amazing.
My X Factor is just the art. Like, it's unlike any other book. Significant. It's not just like it's another drawing. It's like totally different. So the art is the X Factor for both Occitan books.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah. I love that Occitan's a thing. Like, that alone is so amazing.
Oh, man. Well, I think we wrapped up this multi-positioned book. I think that we just have very different opinions on it, which doesn't happen often. But
no, but when it does, it's fun.
I know. I love that. I love that. That's what we had for this episode of Dialogue Alley, was a cool, controversial book. And with all of that being said, that's all we have time for today on this episode. And if you would like to get in touch with us, you can find us on Instagram. You can find Carly at All the Pretty Books. You can find Erik at Nocturne Erik, like Nocturne Alley. And it's Erik with a K because his name is with a K and starts with a K, ends with a K. That's how we remember it. Erik with a K.
That's true.
Nocturne Erik.
Your book ended by Ks.
Right? It's just Nocturne Erik. And you can find me on Instagram at the Harry Potter Collection. You can also check out our websites. There are a few of them. There's Carly's website, alltheprettybooks.net. Mine is theharrypottercollection.com. And then there's also a really cool website for this podcast, which is dialoguealley.com. At our websites, you can find pictures of all of these books that we chat about. Our website always will feature the translation of the show. And if there are any other books that you're interested in and you just listening to this episode just sparked that fantastic beast inside of you to look into different translations, you can find pictures of those books on my and Carly's website. And you can also find them on our Instagram for this podcast, which is at Dialogue Alley Podcast. Sorry, it took me a second my brain just stopped working.
I know, it's such a creative handle that you had to take a moment.
Whew, got me for a second. You can also, guys, I should mention, because Peter was in this episode, that you can find him. His biggest thing is on YouTube, The Powder Collector. He's also on Instagram, on all sorts of social media. Right now he's live streaming, as we mentioned, his gameplay for Hogwarts Legacy, which is awesome. And if you want to partake in that, because he's really doing a thing where everyone's participating with him and they're kind of, leading his journey in this game. If you want to participate with that, you can join him on his live stream, which is really cool. Other places you can find us are on Twitter, Dialogue_Alley. You can find us on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok, which I recently changed my little TikTok handle, guys. I'm not the Harry Potter Collection on TikTok anymore. You can find me on there at Magically Melanie.
Oh, I love it.
That's fun. I didn't know that. But now I do. Look, I've learned things from Dialogue Alley Podcast.
I know. I thought it was a little surprise for you guys. And as always, you can listen to this podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, Pandora, Audible, all sorts of crazy places. And one of the coolest places that you can find this podcast is on MuggleNet. We are part of the MuggleNet family of podcasts. And guys, Even cooler, you can find us on Wikipedia. Like, if you go to Wikipedia, I'm there, Carly's there, Eric's there. MuggleNet has put us, Dialogue Alley, on Wikipedia, which is so cool. We're so, proud to be a part of that. It's just super awesome.
It's big when you've made it onto an open source Wikipedia page that anyone can have access and edit to.
Mom, I made it.
But they don't.
I should have made an article for myself months ago.
But you didn't. So.
See?
That's true.
Now it's official because someone else did it for us.
Someone else did it.
Someone else put us there, which is very exciting.
It's probably my mom. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks, Mom. Oh my gosh. As always, you can be part of our community of conversation with Harry Potter translations by supporting us on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/dialoguealley. And from there, you can join us on Discord. It's just a really cool chat. We have a bunch of really awesome people that help support each other in this passion, which is just an awesome thing to be a part of. You can also get ad-free episodes, all sorts of bonuses. I'm probably going to do a bonus episode on my actual gameplay of Hogwarts Legacy because Peter and I didn't talk about that too much. And Alon really wants to be on an episode talking about Hogwarts Legacy, so we'll probably do a bonus episode about that.
I think that sounds great.
Some more in-depth chit-chat about that game. And if you like what you're listening to, please leave us a review or just message us and tell us what you're thinking about it. And we love the feedback and we'd love to read any reviews on our podcast. So leave us reviews. It's cool.
Yeah.
Do it. And I'm just going to do one final thank you to our very, very good friend Peter for hopping on through his busy schedule for recording with me. I'm so excited that we worked it out and made it happen because he is a busy little bee. But with all of that being said, it is now time to walk back through the archway and into our daily lives, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.